Hello, it's Laura. I don't know what video this is, what number this is, but anyway, I am due tomorrow. So I'm 39 weeks, 6 days pregnant, and I just came on here to say, sorry I haven't made a video for a little bit, but I have been incredibly busy. I mean, everyone's been very busy with what's been going on. Obviously, effects of the coronavirus, the whole pandemic that's affected pretty much every country that I've ever heard of in the world. And not only that, but I've actually been making a documentary with a TV company. I can't really talk about it, but I've got my fingers crossed. That's been taking up a lot of my time. Doing loads of videos for that and how it's been affecting me as somebody that's just about to give birth. So I'm hoping that that will all come off and then that will be on telly and that will be quite cool. But I can't really talk any more about that. But what I will be talking about in this video is the coronavirus and how it's affecting pregnant women. So the first thing I want to talk about is what has been said. So we're in day 6 of lockdown because today is Saturday. So Boris, Prime Minister, announced on Monday that we'd be doing lockdown. So in other words, trying to curb the spread of the disease. So now essentially what we're allowed to do is go out for one form of exercise per day, which isn't great when you're pregnant because you just want to kind of get out, you're going a bit stir crazy. Second thing you're allowed to do is go out and shop for essentials. Well, you try doing that if you're pregnant because all of the slots, everyone is panic buying at the supermarkets. All the slots have been taken up by the supermarkets for, I can't even get one. So I can't even get a delivery slot. They were booking 2-3 weeks ahead, which is just ridiculous anyway. And now places like Ocado aren't taking any offers at all. Which is just unbelievable, and it's unbelievable that people are stockpiling as much as they are because it's just a really selfish thing to do. So what it then forces is for people like myself who are in the vulnerable groups, like the over 70s, we've got to kind of brave it to go out to the shops. And now if you go to the supermarkets, well, number one, I can't lift heavy stuff. Number two, they're only letting people in one at a time because there's a 2-metre gap because of the self-isolation rule. So that's again a really difficult thing, and they do have special hours which are just for the elderly, but again the elderly are queuing to get in the shops, so it just seems so ridiculous. And for pregnant people like myself, I have to go to the local shops where I'm risking getting infected essentially because the aisles are so small, all of the corner shops seem to be so small and they don't seem to be really regulating people going in and out of there. So it's just a really kind of stressful and anxious time. So that's the essential shop and how that's kind of going. And, you know, it's also, sorry, I was just looking at my notes to sort of remind me of what I'm doing. The things that we're doing per day is trying to sort of keep sane and not go stir crazy. Because the thing is, for your physical health, obviously we've got to look after that so that I don't get the coronavirus, because that would be the worst thing to add on top of giving birth as well. But the other thing is, when you are staying in, it's your mental health that kind of ends up suffering, I would say. So that's a really difficult thing to manage. So I think in terms of that, my tips are to still try and get up at the same time and have sort of a fullish day, even if you are staying in, even if you are in a small place like myself. But just get up, make sure you get dressed, you get washed the same as you would normally do. You make yourself breakfast, you make yourself lunch, you make yourself dinner. You've got that kind of routine. You're doing other things. You've got some sort of structure to your day. Because if you don't have that, then you don't have anything. And it is really, really hard. It's really, really tough to do this because essentially, you know, we've just been thrown into something where it doesn't matter how big your house is. It doesn't matter what status you are. We are all in exactly the same boat. So there's all that kind of going on. Then the other thing about the pregnancy is the fact that everything's suddenly changed. In parts of Europe, there are certain places where birthing partners aren't actually allowed in to the labour, which is just absolutely horrendous. So I don't even want to think about that at the moment. In fact, I signed a petition last night to make sure the UK won't do that, but of course there's no guarantees. So I've got no guarantees that my partner's going to be there. Will he be let in? I don't know. I mean, obviously, if he shows signs of anything to do with the coronavirus as well. Obviously that would be a reason for him not to come in as well, and it's just a really sad time. You know, the parents, the brothers, sisters aren't going to be able, all family members, to actually meet the baby face to face when he comes, because again, that's another risk, and self-isolating doesn't allow for that. So he's going to have to meet people through video calls for the foreseeable future. You know, we don't know when this is coming to an end. We've also got my 94-year-old nan, who's going to be a great nan, you know, and this is her first great grandson. She isn't in the best of health, so she might never meet him. There's a lot that is at stake here. I'm hoping still to go into the hospital and still have a hospital birth, have a water birth. That's what I planned. However, people are talking about home births now, and again, that's something that I find very stressful and makes me very anxious. I like to say though, the NHS are doing such an incredible job, and I hope that you, as well as myself, ended up doing the clapping exercise, which was on Thursday at 8 o'clock. They're going to be doing that every single week. That is so worth it, just to show our appreciation for them, because they're on the front line. They're risking themselves for everything they do. So thank you so much if you do work for the NHS. You are doing an amazing, amazing job. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about today, is kind of the concerns, the fact that I am going to be a first-time mum, you know, the concerns of pregnant women giving birth during this time, all the different feelings that they are feeling, you know, the fact of anticipation of looking after this new life, but then also to look after yourself. And in this uncertain future, you know, what on earth is going to happen? How do you structure your time? What is your routine going to be? There are a lot of unanswered questions, and I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks that there's some sort of more positives to bring to the situation. But I'm going to sort of leave you with this as a talking point, I guess, for now, and a sort of thinking point is, if you are pregnant, first of all, I would like to sort of give you a virtual high five and just say, you know, well done to you. You're doing an amazing job already. If you're somebody that is looking at this, you know, just wondering, maybe you're wondering how pregnant people feel at this time, you know, maybe I've helped you by giving you a little insight into that as well. And it's just to sort of say to people, you know, to come together as a community. If you can help your neighbours, your loved ones, your friends out, the vulnerable people in society, then please do. Obviously the NHS workers as well need more volunteers. There's a lot of stuff to put yourselves out for, and yeah, just try and come together basically, and hopefully after this it will make us all stronger. But that is the video for me for now, just my thoughts on the coronavirus, and fingers crossed this nightmare starts to pass very, very soon, and we all start to get back to normality. That would be my dream anyway. But lots of love for now. Mwah.